assuming, Maya, I don't know you that well, but I'm assuming this is not in your kind of life realm. So what have you, and this is a question for all of you, what are you drawing on in order to access his emotions?
Mainly just been watching the anniversary, the first Phantom, and then the Love Never Dies film as well.
Okay, so what are you doing, what are you, Maya, doing to try and access what it's like to be that person?
I guess I'm just kind of imagining what his response to the situation.
Okay. Okay, so what I want you to be thinking about is the characters that you've chosen. What is it in your life that you can use to help you access your character? And for lots of you, it's not going to be the same situation. So you have to kind of find another way in. So actually, he's rejected by society, isn't he? But still has this need for something. So I wonder if your way into this character is thinking about maybe a time when you felt left out of something, and thinking about how that made you feel, and how does that relate to the Phantom of the Opera? Does that make sense? So it's about finding the thing that you connect with in your character. And you've chosen these songs for a reason, actually. And I think if you stop and think about it, the songs that you reject are often the songs that you don't kind of find anything in that resonates with you. So actually, there's very often, when you've been left alone to choose a piece of music for yourself, there's very often something about that character that makes you kind of warm to them. So what is it about your character that you have in common? What is your emotional response might be a tiny percentage of that, but actually we've all been in situations where you felt a bit left out. So actually you can use that and magnify that for the Phantom, who has been not just kind of left out, but shunned by society, really, isn't he? So just think now, all of you, about one of your songs, and think about one of your characters in one of your songs, and think about what is it about that character that you have in common. Which bit of you are you going to bring to that character? Let's have a quick spot check. Amelia, tell me one of your songs. Okay, so what are you going to bring to the character that tells the story of Macavity? Good. So what is that? Who sings that? It's Mungo Jerry Maltese, I think, sing it, don't they? So what are they doing when they're telling the story of Macavity?
They're sort of, well, it's tricky because they're sort of like talking bad about him, but they're not. They're like bigging him up because he's not a nice person.
But there's a certain glee in it, isn't there?
Yeah.
So have you ever had a gossip with somebody about something that you think is really, really bad, but I'm telling you because it's really fun. You won't believe what they did, and I'm going to share it with you because they're so awful. Listen to it's that kind of thing, isn't it? Macavity is awful, but just listen to what he's been doing, and you're kind of enjoying. So that's your way in, isn't it? They're having a bit of a gossip, really, about something terrible, but it's actually quite fun to talk about. So do you kind of get the idea? Find your way in. Let's do one more. Shanna, tell me about one of your songs and your way into that character.
I'm singing Roxy from Chicago.
Okay. So I imagine you've never actually shot somebody. So how are you going to access Roxy?
I'm going to think about the time where I've probably done something that maybe wasn't the best decision.
Okay.
But still not regretted it after, and then just take that on a larger scale too.
Yeah, good. That's exactly it, isn't it? That's exactly it. So finding that shared thing, and I think that's a really important developmental part of learning to perform, isn't it? And that's why when people talk about your own interpretation of a character, because actually Maya's thing that she's accessing for this character will be different if Amber sang the song or if Harry sang the song. And that's how you bring something different to your part, is you're finding what you have in common with them. Does that make sense? So in one of your breaks today, make sure you start making some notes on your characters and what your way in to that is. And if you get stuck, come and find me. Good. Well done. Don't forget you've got dance performance today, not dance